will now be detaining all adults who are apprehended at the border.
That's Attorney General Jeff Sessions on a tour of the border in Arizona, where he described his get tough approach to immigration enforcement. In addition, Sessions has threatened an end to federal aid for so-called sanctuary cities dedicated to protecting undocumented immigrants. He's also ordered a review of all federally enforced policing agreements designed to address years, if not decades, of community unrest and charges of overt racial discrimination. One mayor whose policies stand against Sessions, he's implementing a policing agreement, and his hometown is a sanctuary city, is Mayor Ras Baraka of Newark, literally just across the river from where we are in New York City today. It's nice to have you with us, Mr. Mayor.
Glad to be here.
Let's talk about some of this conflict. A federal probe between 2009 and 2012 found that 75% of pedestrian stops in Newark were unjustified. The DOJ 2014 reported unjustified stops, searches, arrests, use of excessive force. So what do you make of these recent statements by Attorney General Sessions, where he basically says he's going to, quote, reconsider those corrective actions?
Well, either he's just not clear on exactly what the DOJ findings were, how extensive they were and systematic. They kind of permeated the entire department and departments around the country in the relationship to African Americans, Latinos, poor people, particularly mostly black and brown folks.
So what happens then if, in fact, the Attorney General does as he says he's going to do, which is really to turn back these corrective actions?
Well, thank God we have, separation of powers here in America, and there are three branches of government, and the court has already given us permission to move forward with a consent decree in the city of Newark. So I don't think that he can have a direct kind of serious impact on the direction that we're going. Ultimately, they could have an impact on other cities and also how much attention they actually pay to what we're doing in the city and how forceful they are with our federal monitors.
Sanctuary cities, obviously another area where you both disagree, you and the Attorney General. He says he's going to withhold funds potentially from cities where there's not help to federal agencies who are working on, catching immigrants who are undocumented in the community. You've called this insane. Why is it insane?
Well, it's almost it's barbaric even. You're going to punish other Americans because they do not want to participate with you and singling out and targeting immigrants or undocumented residents and treating them as criminals and rounding them up. People do not want to participate in that. And so as a result of that, you'll take money away from cities for police officers, for HIV and AIDS patients, for housing, for all of these issues and specific things that we have to deal with daily. So at this point, it's like we need to go forward with what we believe is right in the first place.
Isn't there a right for people who are trying to control the borders to say this is illegal and we need help to make sure that these people get captured and deported?
Well, I think the important thing is to develop a pathway to citizenship in America. I think that has been the history of this country, that give me your tired and huddled masses. You can't say that America is exceptional and then deny people the access to this exceptionalism.
There's a new study that says Newark has some very dangerous lead levels in the drinking water. Do you see some common ground with the president on infrastructure, where clearly you have a big infrastructure challenge?
I hope so. I think that he needs, the government period needs to be focused on infrastructure. It needs to be focused on what I call an urban Marshall Plan, to begin to put money into these communities to deal with roads, to deal with water infrastructure, deal with schools. The city of Newark is 350 years old, right? We need serious infrastructure development in our city, and we need help from the federal government to do that.
Mayor Ras Baraka, nice to have you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.